There we go. There we go. My goodness, I have not done a TikTok live in forever. Now I'm going to have to remember to download TikTok live. There we go. Hey folks. Now here's a funny thing. Some of you followed me over here from YouTube. But some of you may have different names. So this is kind of fun. Now, Barbara, I recognize. Shannon, I remember yours. So wonderful, but wonderful to see folks showing up. I have temporarily decided to show up on TikTok doing some Destination Decluttered lives to say hey to the folks who haven't followed me over to YouTube, but also to any new people who may be struggling with clutter and think that there's no help simply because I don't happen to show up on TikTok. Okay. So I will be here. It is 10:01 Eastern. I will be here for the next hour or so. Laura Gibbon Voorhees, I love it. Howdy. And Penny Luck Myers, love it too. Yeah. All right. Yes, I'm okay. You've missed me and I can't pronounce your name, but just as a heads up, I have been here. I've been around all along doing what I've always done here on TikTok. I've just been doing it over on YouTube. Therapy Gal Sue, howdy. Yeah. But I realized that there may be people on TikTok who are struggling with clutter and they're like, I don't know what to do. And just because you're over on TikTok and you don't know that I'm over here, it's like I'm in the other room. But if you don't know that I exist, you're not going to look for me in the other room. There we go. German Maid, a 2-hour session with Beth. Yeah, I was here. I was on TikTok, YouTube. I'm gonna so confuse those up. Just give me some grace. I was on YouTube for an hour and I'll be here for an hour. Okay? Now, we were talking a bunch. We were talking about a bunch of stuff. Yes, the ducklings. Yes, moving the ducklings over to YouTube, because I do feel, and I don't want to get too into the whole, like, TikTok is here right now. I still have a connection to people on TikTok, and I will use it to connect with as many people as I can. I will not be adding any active content to this. I'm not going to be adding any videos. What I might do is I might use like the video creation thing and then post the videos on YouTube, because I don't think TikTok is going to be around for the long term, but that's just me. But since it's here, I'm going to use it. I know, Penny, this view is so cozy, isn't it? On YouTube, it's horizontal, so you see more of this. Now it's just me and my phone right here. All right? So, many of you know me, but in case you don't, my name is Beth, and I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Now, why Destination Decluttered? And this is where I'm going to also get all effed up like you wouldn't believe, because now my screen is backwards, because I like to think of life as a road trip. Thinking of life and anything in the construct of a road trip totally helped me change my life. But if you don't want to change your life, that's fine. But if you do, it can help. And if even just want to do is do some decluttering, that'll help you too. Okay? So I show up on these TikTok lives, and here's how it works, is I will offer you suggestions of things that help me, that have helped me kind of transform my home and my life into a substantially less cluttered place than it has been in the past, let's say, in the past 50 plus years, because I grew up in a cluttered home, and then I created my own cluttered home, but then I realized I didn't like it. Jelly B, Beth is back in the sack. I'm glad to be back, right? I'm back in black, actually. Technically, I'm back in black. Yes, I am. But yeah, so I show up to help you. Okay, Mama Kimbo, your life is exactly what I need today. Motivation Monday. Okay, cool. So I'm here to motivate you, but here's the thing. The only thing that's going to motivate you is you having the courage to do the things you want to do, having the confidence in yourself to do it. And it doesn't have to be a big capital C confidence. It can be small. It can be encouragement, the courage to do something that you, ain't never done before, or you tried before and it didn't work. But here's the great thing is I have a method and a way of explaining things that makes a lot of sense to me. I try to be very clear, very thoughtful, very mindful and demure. Wasn't that like 3 months ago? And I like to tell stories and make things simple to understand. I am a certified life coach, but if you ask me where my amygdala is versus my, I would have to look on a map because it doesn't mean anything to me. When I talk to you and I say, well, I've got this nagging backseat driver who says, don't do it, that's different. I know what it's like to be in a car, driving a car, and somebody in the back seat, little kid going, don't go there. No, I don't want to go there. No, go to where I want to go. Has anybody had that? I love this. I'm seeing some familiar names. I thought I saw Carla. I thought I did. But Kat Roby. Hey. It's Kat Roby. She's got her scheduled Beth blinders on, and notice what she does. She makes a list. She texts it twice. She's going to find out who's naughty or nice. And she's tidy. 1 task list, 2 living room, 3 mail. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Carla Jane, just making sure you didn't fall off. All right. And here's the great thing, Leslie M. Yeah, isn't it great to be able to see me on 2 different stations? If you can't tune in on Channel 4 at 9 a.m., you turn to Channel 5 at 10 a.m. You just turn the station. So I have the availability to do this now, and I really think it's an important time to let people know, Idaho Princess, nice to see you, that there is help out there for what you're struggling with. And I will share also that I do this on the decluttering tip, but also in a you can do it trip, You're right, Carla. I take it back. Be safe. I hope you have like elbow pads and knee pads and a you're ready almost for roller derby as you're walking around the house, okay? So I'm here to help you, remind you basically that you can do the stuff you want to do. And that, I don't know, maybe you don't need to do the stuff you don't want to do, but let's talk about it, Hey, Idaho Princess. So I also do these things. I will share that in just a moment. For the more of like for the newbies, but even just as a refresher, another thing that I offer besides one-on-one coaching, which Carla and I and Idaho Princess and a number of people, we've coached together and we coach together, is I offer these decluttering parties. Now these are on Zoom. They've got a modest ticket price, like a $20 ticket price, of which a percentage of it, half of it goes to a good cause. And we show up at a certain day and a certain time for a certain amount of time to get some decluttering done. Now, the neat thing is about that, if all you do is the decluttering during the party, you're getting some major stuff done. Other times, the decluttering party is just kind of warming up your engine and you're still raring to go. And so Idaho Princess showed up to one and she says, after the party, I spent 8 hours in that basement. Thanks for the help. Now, notice that you were on a roll. I hope you took breaks. I hope you hydrated and took some time for yourself and you didn't do, and you felt good about those 8 hours you were there. And I hope you stopped when it no longer felt good, But yeah, so I offer these decluttering parties. We've got 2 of them coming up this coming weekend, March 29th and 30th. I gotta look at March 29th and 30th, Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern to 1:30 p.m. Eastern on both days. And, oh, good. She says, I did, and wow, it felt good. Yes, we can do it. We can do it, right? Look what you did. You did something you had been dragging your feet on. Now, we all drag our feet on something, myself included, okay? But what I was going to say just real quick about the decluttering parties is April. The people on the mailing list and the people that show up and the people that stay in touch, they get what they are more likely to get what they want from me than people who just stay silent. Use this as a life lesson. People have reached out to me saying, hey, I can't make it for a noontime decluttering party on the weekend. However, I could make it during the weekday or another time during the weekend or another time during the day. Would you consider doing it on a different day of the week or time of the day? Now, I'm a flexible gal. I've even been doing yoga, all right? So I look at my own calendar and I run it through my own kind of, how does that feel to me? I'm like, sure. I like to say yes I've been a manager I used to manage people, Christ, since probably the time I was 8 years old. I like to say yes until I have to say no. So yeah, so April, we're going to mix it up. We're going to have some declutter parties at the regular time. I might do an early one. I might do a Wednesday morning one. I might do Wednesday from 1 to 3 because somebody was asking about that. If you think it's going to help you and you show up, I will offer it. Now, so if this is all new to you, if you're like, yep, know about it, I'm on the mailing list, good, sounds good, I'll put, I know how to get in touch with you because email me when you would like it to happen. But if you're not, I have a mailing list that is free, it is simple, it is low-key, destinationdeclutter.com/join gets you on the mailing list. And all that gives you is direct access to me and all sorts of the good stuff that I offer for free. Okay? So, Mark and Jennifer Lucero, I'm glad you're glad to see me again. Yeah, I realized that TikTok did not go down like I thought it would. I think it still is different than it was, and I don't know how long I'll be there, but while there are people still here, it would be foolish of me to say I want to help people and then not show up where a lot of people are. Okay? So, thank you, Jelly Bee, for saying, because I'm like, I don't know what striping cleaning is looking like. I'll get to that in a moment, because I got to think of some things. But what I want to offer is basically chunk it down. Chunk it down. Any kind of cleaning, spring cleaning, chunking it down. The thing that, to me, spring cleaning adds a bit of getting rid of the heavy and the dusty and the whatever, and transforming your life and your home into something more airy and fresh, which usually means opening up the windows. But when you open up the windows and you notice how much dust you have, so that, to me, spring cleaning is truly a cleaning thing. But I would say getting rid of the heavy stuff in your life that you don't want. Okay? Decluttering is the same year round. It just may be that you're focusing on different places in your home or different categories of your stuff. Holiday stuff versus patio stuff. Like, I live in a kind of a four seasons kind of area. I live in Pennsylvania. So in December, I'm probably thinking Christmas stuff. And then March, I'm winding down from the holiday stuff, and I'm thinking of spring and summer. Okay? Chunking it down. Chunking it down, picking a chunk you want to work at, and writing it down too. Write down your plan so you don't have to remember it. You can just look down and there it is. And then when you're done with it, you can draw a line through it and remind yourself of all the good things. Okay? Now, Crazy Aunt Rose is asking, what does a decluttering party look like? I will tell you exactly what it looks like. It looks like anything you want it to be, but here's the framework. You sign up for it for a certain day and a certain time when it's offered, and you pay a ticket. When you buy your ticket, you get a private Zoom link. This Zoom is the party. It's everybody who's going to show up that day. We all show up on Zoom. However, just because you're on Zoom, you do not need to put your camera on. You do not need to use the chat. You do not need to interact at all unless you want to. And even when you interact, you can just chat. You can not put your camera on. You can put your camera on. Whatever feels comfortable to you. I don't look at what's going on with you, but we do the Zoom so there is a private connection to just the people on the party. No, the party is officially scheduled from noontime Eastern to 1:30 Eastern, but the 1:30 Eastern is a soft thing. If we're hanging out and chatting afterwards, it's not like it shuts off immediately because it's controlled by me and I'm a human, not a robot, okay? Within that hour and a half, there are 3 scheduled chunks of 20-minute decluttering. I put a timer up on my on my screen. It counts down, and I chime in every so often to just say, hey, we're about halfway through. And you do you. You've ideally picked something you want to work on. You start working on it. It's decluttering coaching in real time, really. It's like group coaching in real time. Because when you are decluttering is where you actually find out where you get stuck. Now, sometimes you've worked with me enough or you've heard me enough that you just need the accountability to show up and do the things you've been kind of dragging your feet on. Like, I have a one-on-one client that showed up to yesterday's party who bought her ticket last minute and said, I know if I do this right now and I say I'm going to go through my medical paperwork, I will declutter that medical paperwork. But without the party, I might like goof off on myself. Okay? So we do a 20-minute declutter, and then we all check in. How'd that go? Is anybody stuck? Are you stuck? How can I help you? Did you learn anything? Do you have anything you want to share? How's this going? And then we go back to the second round and we do another 20 minutes. Lather, rinse, repeat, as the Head and Shoulders bottle used to say. Everybody always forgets about the lather. Or maybe it's the repeat or the rinse. But I digress. We do that 3 times, so you get a solid, focused hour of decluttering done, and accountability, and camaraderie, and community, and all sorts of fun stuff. So we have fun and we get it done. Okay? So I hope that helps. All right? How do you pay your ticket? It's wicked easy. So KitKat So Cool, if you're on the mailing list, you have access to a page on the internet that I have that has all the resources for you. If you are on the email list, you know that you have access to the downloadable habit tracker. This is where the schedule for the TikTok and YouTube lives is always updated. And there's a link there to have you sign up for the ticket, and then you purchase your ticket through online, put in your credit card number type of thing. It's an online type of deal. Okay? And that's how that works. There are no refunds. So if you can't make it, you can always share the link with somebody you think can make it. But paying for the ticket gives you accountability. And you know this because we all show up differently for things we've paid for than things are for free. I totally would not have gotten up at 6:15 this morning to walk in the rain down to a strength training class down the street that I had not paid for. If I didn't pay for it, I'd be like, nope, that's okay. I didn't lose any money. But paying money for something makes you show up differently, So, hey, there we go. I love it. We get some party people in the house saying how good the party is, and I find them helpful too. And what I think is really good is during coaching and during YouTube lives and TikTok lives, this is all theory. You don't know if it's going to work for you until you put it into action, until you start taking action. Okay? And so I'm here to remind you of that. And I'm here to say, test out what I share and see if it works. Okay? See if it works for you. And the wonderful thing is, I am all about customizing, bespoking in a way, that we start with the standard framework, which works, and it works for many people. But if it doesn't work for you, how can we change it so it does work for you? Okay? And a lot of it is action. I want to live. Action. I got so much to give. I want to give it. I want to get some too. Everybody. I love the nightlife. I got to boogie on the disco round. Oh, yay. Penny Myers, it took me a minute. I'm like, action. I'm like, oh, I know what she's saying. And thank you, Carla. Is this thing on? It's not actually, but thank you, Carla, for my Mr. Microphone. Hey, pretty lady, we'll be back to pick you up later. Creepy 70s TV. All right. Mary Louise Rivera is saying, how to organize different decor. I have glass, brass, silver chandeliers, and ADHD. I buy compulsive. So the funny thing is you've already organized it by category. You just showed me that. Glass, brass, silver, chandeliers. What I get curious about, because I know the ADHD, I've got it in my family. I've got the music in me. I know the thrill of the hunt. I know the thrill of discovery. And oh my gosh, I just found this thing. I'm so excited. Whee! Dopamine, right? The dopamine sometimes doesn't even last until you get it home. So I would get curious, if your clutter is being caused by your compulsive ADHD buying, I would get curious about what you could do about that if it's causing you clutter. If it's bringing you joy, both when you do it and when you bring the stuff home and you love your stuff, it could just be about organizing it and displaying it. What I often found, however, was that I would find something that I thought was cool, but by the time I got home, I'd be like, I don't know where it goes. So I would also buy a lot of things because I started to collect a certain category. I've collected all sorts of things. postcards, snow domes, Fiesta wear, flamingo stuff, CDs. I have the penchant for collecting things. Sometimes that's fun, and sometimes it it creates clutter in my house. So I hope that helps. Melissa's asking, are you on YouTube now? No, this week I'm experimenting. It was too distracting for me to be on YouTube and TikTok at the same time, and I felt like I was not focusing enough on either thing. And I was giving short shrift to possibly the new people on YouTube, or excuse me, TikTok, who might not know me, you know? Okay, and somebody was saying, Donna Sue was asking, how do I get on the mailing list? DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. Just go to there, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. There's a little form. All you do is put in your email address and promise that you're not a robot, and boom, you're on the mailing list. Okay? Yeah. So, you're here in your life with the stuff you have. This is a great thing about a road trip. How'd you get here? Now, I'm not, and nor do I ever really want to be, a mental health therapist. There are some cluttered people who would greatly benefit from mental health counseling. I like to think that you can look back and kind of get an idea of how you got cluttered. And this is the difference. And then decluttering and coaching, and what I offer, says, okay, I notice where I came from. Here I am, and I want to figure out how to move forward in a different direction. Doesn't that all sound like a road trip? You know? So that's how I show up. That's why I'm here for you. I know myself that I grew up with cluttered people, so I learned to be cluttered. I learned to associate feeling good with things that I found, and feeling thrifty about things, and feeling like I was expressing my personality by what I bought and maybe what I wore and how I decorated my home. So there's so many things that go into it. Now, we all don't live in plain blank boxes. Each one of us lives in a box called our home, and we put stuff in it to make it easier to live there. We've got clothes, we've got stuff in our kitchen, we've got towels to wrap our bodies with, we've got lotions so we don't have dry skin. So it's not about eliminating everything. Decluttering really is decision making. Decision making. Now, I love it. Decision making is saying, what is this thing? Do I want it or not? What do I want? This is the thing that I freaking love about my coaching, is I am reminding you, I am showing up right now in your life to remind you to today, on whatever day it is, Monday, March 24th, to ask yourself what I want, what you want, and listen for the answer and write it down. Write all the things you want down. Get it out of your head and down onto paper, because that is the first step in making a roadmap to getting there, is writing it down. If you keep it up in your head, if you keep it hidden, you can flake out on yourself. Okay? Now, everybody has a different level of clutter. Everybody has a different level of feeling good with too much stuff, too little. Like Grandma Bird says, I find things for my daughter-in-law who is a minimalist. I take pictures of it and send it to her, and she loves it. Yes, some people are minimalist, some people are maximalist, and it's a rainbow. She's a rainbow. There's all different levels. My level of what I pick out and how I decorate my house and what I decide to keep and where to put it is for me. I want you to learn that you deserve to do the same for you. Yeah, declutter your mind first. And I love it. Carla Jane, she and I have been working together as one-on-one clients because I do one-on-one coaching, says, can I share my mental health has upticked so much since I started decluttering? Yes. And you can always ask yourself, like one of the Spice Girls, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna zing a zing zoo, right? Write down the things you want. It's a shopping list for your world. And if you want a decluttered house, I can help you get there. And when you learn how to declutter your house, you use that same process to get what you want in other areas of your life. Now, it's not going to be magic, but there is some magic involved. And you are the one who can do it. Nobody else can do it for you, but I say this in a cool way. Not in a, nobody else is going to do it for you. Wah, wah. Don't forget the wah, wah. No. You have more strength in you than you ever know. I'm getting like a Winnie the Pooh vibe. Didn't he say something like that? You're stronger than you even realize. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. And that strength might be dusty. And it may be shoved in a box, covered over with things because you haven't used it in a while. You know? Now, Laura Gibbon Voorhees wrote down what she wants. She wrote it in the comments. I want a peaceful, serene appearing home. So notice the serene appearing home. It looks serene. Make sure it feels serene too. Okay? Make sure that the feeling, it's how it looks, how it functions, and most importantly, how it feels. Because if, as he said, it can appear serene and peaceful on the surface, but underneath it could be a hot mess. So make sure that it looks serene and it feels serene. Now, 3 Cats in a Bun says, how many coffee mugs are enough? We have way too many. Well, you know right now that, first of all, everybody's different. Everybody's different. It depends on how much coffee you drink. It depends on the shelf space you have, all sorts of things. But notice, already you have determined that whatever number you have is way too many. So this is where I like to talk about chunking things down and categorizing things and quality and quantity. So I'm picturing right now the shelf that my husband and I have our coffee mugs on. Now, I drink tea. I have certain mugs that I like to use. He has certain mugs he likes to use. We both tend to use the same 2 or 3 mugs over and over again. Those are the ones that are in cycle. They have tea in them, then they go into the sink, and then they get wiped out, and then they get back onto the shelf, and then we put tea in them, and you notice there's a cycle. So I would get curious. If you have way too many of anything, notice the quantity you have. Gather up the quantity so you know you're making an educated opinion. And if you feel like that's too many, honor that. Then look at the quality of your quantity. Which are the ones you like the best? Separate out your faves. Then make a pile of the ones you don't like at all. Why do you still have them? And I'm not saying that in a judgy tone. I say that for curiosity. Judgment is on one side, curiosity on the other. Curiosity. Why am I keeping that mug? Oh, well, we bought it on vacation. Oh, that's the one that so-and-so sent us from the UK. Do we use it? Well, not often enough. Are we going to get rid of it? No, we might use it when people are over. Okay. Does it fit where we want it to fit? Yeah, okay, so that stays. That other one, I've never liked it. The handle's too small. It's got chips in it. That one I can throw away or donate. Yeah. And okay, so I love it to hear that Mommy Salami is saying, I use my different mugs for my different moods and feelings. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with any of this. What I offer to you is use the things you have and enjoy them. But if you don't use them, just get curious about why you don't use them and either get them into circulation or maybe just give them away if you choose. Now, 3 Cats in a Bun is wisely noticing about coffee mugs, and this happens with all sorts of other things that you own in your home, other categories. I have my favorites in rotation and the others just take up space. There's a thing that's called, I don't know, there's like the 80-20 rule. You probably use 20% of your stuff 80% of the time. Wear the same clothes, put on the same handful of pairs of socks, eat off the same dishes, pull the same things out of the pantry, buy the same things in the grocery store. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But just start to notice that. To say, there are the things, okay, I'm not a sporty person, but I'm getting a sports imagery here, so help me with this. This is like having a sports team, and you always have your favorite players going in and playing on the field. You're always you're always wearing your same favorite clothes, eating your same favorite foods, picking out your same favorite fork, using your same favorite glass or mug or plate or napkin or what have you. And then you have the things that stay on the sidelines, the things that are just on the bench, I guess, and never get called into play. Yeah, that's how we are as humans, especially when we have an abundance of choice. So I just offer you to think of your stuff that way. And you can rotate them. Grandma Bird is saying, coffee cups are my weakness. I rotate my mugs out with my holiday mugs. Yeah. So there's no right or wrong answers here. Everybody's got their own stuff. This is, again, going back to the question of, I've written it to myself and I keep it with an eye shot to keep myself focused on that. What do I want? What do I want? I know 3 Cats in a Bun. You want fewer coffee mugs. You probably want it to be easier for you to put them away when they're all clean. That ever happen, everybody? When you get all your laundry done and there's nothing in the hampers and you realize how crammed your closets are or your drawers, or all your dishes are clean and it's hard to cram them all in there because nothing is out, So notice that the mugs you are not using are taking up that valuable real estate that is making you frustrated when you try to put the mugs you do want away. And it is a real estate problem. It's a math problem. It's a science thing. You cannot put one mug in the same space that another mug is in, except if maybe you stack them and then they might chip. And I used to work at Pier 1 Imports in Mikasa, so I know all about that. Yes, there are certain things in circulation. There's more stuff in circulation than you think in your house. Yeah, you've got food, dishes, laundry being your clothing. So laundry is not just laundry. Laundry is dirty clothing. Then it becomes clean clothing. Then you hang it up or you put it in your bureau. And then you take it out and then you put it on your body and you wear it. And then you take it off. And ideally you put it in a hamper, if not the floor. And then it goes from the hamper back into the washer, into the dryer. There are cycles in our lives that will happen all the time. So it's going to be different for everybody, but the concepts remain the same. Categorizing. Category of coffee mugs, category of sweatshirts, category of t-shirts. My husband, we did one of the decluttering parties I mentioned earlier. I did 2 of them this past weekend. And I asked my husband to please participate. He was off screen because I've been bugging him to just go through his t-shirts. I wasn't saying throw away all your t-shirts. I said just go through what you have and categorize them. See what you have. I know you've got a bunch of black t-shirts with stuff printed on them. Check out the ones that are that, and then your plain ones, and then your colored ones. And see if there are ones that are in your bureau, but you're not wearing them, and it's making it hard to put away the laundry. Yeah. Now, 3 Cats in a Bun, I know the feeling. I've realized I have hyperfixations and collect things for a while, but don't have the space for it. Yeah. So what I offer to you from a personal and professional perspective, PPP, like Peter Purcell Patterson's pet pig named Porky. How can you get the dopamine of the hyperfixation without the wah of the not having the space for it? Could you collect things? And I know the people who sell stuff are going to be like, don't tell her to do that. Could you take a picture? Could you collect things with your camera and not bring them home? Could you own up about this to say, I collect things, and maybe you have a certain space, like a shelf, that you put your most current hyperfixation, and then you enjoy it until you're done with it, and then when you start to hyperfixate on something else, you then donate the previous hyperfixation back out into the wild, and you use that one shelf as your fixation of the year or the month. Now, here's an interesting thing too. Coffee Lover is saying, I'd like to throw all the clothes away and start over, but instead I keep every piece of clothing. Right there. All, nothing. I want no clothes, but I have them all. All or nothing thinking is unhelpful. It is a hallmark of the ADHD brain and many brains. I don't, gatekeep. But all or nothing thinking is a habit that is not giving you what you want. Notice, I want to do this, but I've got this. What I suggest is you probably don't want to throw away all your clothes, because I bet you have some clothes that you still like. I also don't want you to throw away clothes. Please donate them. However, notice there's a difference. It's black and white thinking is easy to say, but it's almost impossible to do, because the world is not black and white. The world is only shades of gray, like the monkeys would say. Totally channeling Peter Tork today. I do not know why. So notice all of the clothes you have. You have categories. What are the clothes that are always in your laundry? Those are the ones that you probably fit on your body, you feel comfortable in, you feel like you look good in them, and they're analogous to the season that you're living in. Notice the stuff you're not wearing. That's where you want to get curious. Why am I not wearing this? Well, I'm not wearing it because it's 30 degrees outside and that's a sundress. Okay, noted. It doesn't mean it's bad that you're not wearing it. Okay? But notice that the decluttering and the happy spot is between the all or nothings. I'm miserable, I'm ecstatic. Those things happen infrequently. This too shall pass. But still, there's a rainbow of stuff. There is a wide range. There's a spectrum of what I have and what I don't like. Okay? But notice, the black and white thinking, it's just really unhelpful. Okay, what else do we have here? Grandma Bird's offering, I've started packing holiday clothing with my holiday decorations, towels as well. I started doing that myself. Great idea. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I wore my one green t-shirt for St. Patrick's Day, and I packed it away for next year. There we go. And notice, I like that idea to showcase my hyperfixation of the moment. Yeah, if you are wired, it's funny because I was on a YouTube live earlier today. It's recorded and it's already up on YouTube, and this one will be recorded, and I will manually upload it to YouTube, so you can always go back and watch. I've got almost 650 videos you can watch for free. They're just out there on Destination Decluttered on YouTube. I can't remember what I've said on this one and what I said on the last one, but what I want to offer to you, even if I did say it again, repetition is good, but everybody's brain is wired in a certain way. Your brain is wired a certain way. My brain's wired a certain way. I will share with you that when I stopped fighting my brain and started loving how my brain worked and working with it to get the results I want, and not thinking of the way that I was wired as something shameful or bad that was stopping me from doing something, but when my brain and I started working together, that's really when things got a lot better. So owning that I collect stuff. Here's my shelf of snow domes. Yep, there's that shelf up there. And then I got tired of those glasses with the states on them, and I took them down, and then I put up the little bottles that my friend gave me, and then they'll be there for a while. I'm not as much of a collector as I used to be, actively acquiring and bringing things into my home. I still occasionally enjoy going out to look at stuff, but I'm happy with what I have, and I am finding the dopamine and that other good chemicals in my body in other ways than collecting. And it feels good, and it doesn't add to my clutter. I'm collecting, pins on my map. I'm going traveling is how I'm getting all zhuzhed up nowadays. Yay, Kat Roby. Kat Roby she's got her check mark on the checklist to the living room. I love it. There we go. Now, Beth says, and I'm a Beth too. Interesting. That Beth says, way too many clothes. But I think I'm going to get back in. I assume you mean you're going to fit back into. Giving away feels like giving up. Now, I know that feeling. I am a woman of an age who is struggling with her menopausal weight gain. I'm not going to lie. It did feel kind of sad when I would give away some clothes that I didn't think I would ever fit into again. So I get that. However, love who you are now. Love who you are now. Don't beat yourself up for not being the size you used to be. Love who you are now. And you can always buy smaller clothes if you're able to lose the weight. If you have aspirational clothes, something that you really want to get into, then keep that one and Do the things to lose the weight. But please, we would all be a lot better and happier on the planet if we started to love who we are now and didn't beat ourselves up for not being something else. Okay? They sure were cute, especially Peter. Peter was cute. I started with Davy, and then my cousin Kim, God rest her soul, she had a crush on Mickey. Mickey didn't do it for me. I like a funny guy, but then Mike was kind of intelligent, and Peter was kind of goofy. But I was definitely starry-eyed for Davy Jones, I confess. Yeah. And there we go. Beth is collecting shells, but keeping the ones that bring joy and have specific memories. Now here, I'll offer this to you. Yes, notice the difference between just a random shell in a collection versus a shell that has a memory attached to it. That is what I like to call a sentimental item, because I think of clutter in 3 layers: surface clutter, stored clutter, and sentimental. So the sentimental items you have are the items that have a story attached to them. Yeah. So Laura, me too. But notice, that's how she says, it's so hard for me to hear, love the body I have now. My inner voice can be so mean to myself. That's your backseat driver. Notice how shitty it feels. Notice how shitty it feels. Let's shut them up, shall we? Quiet down. I am going to practice loving the body I have. I will say to you, I am totally struggling with this. I am. But I try to buy clothes that feel good on the body I have now. Right here, this, instead of being a what do you call it, like a baby doll tee that I might have been able to wear in the 90s, it's a tunic. It covers this belly roll that I never had before. I feel good in it, so then I can go off and do other things, but if I'm not trying to body shame myself, Yeah, and I will offer to you, if you are, there are drugs out there, there are medicines out there that will help you lose weight. It's not just about calories in, calories out. So if you truly are, my mental health was being affected by my weight gain. And everything I did didn't work. So I'm getting a little bit of, chemical help, and it's helping me, and it's helping my brain. Now, Penny Luck Myers. All right, here we go. Okay, Sarah Martin, etc. says, oh my God, shells, they're all the same and they got to go, but I feel like I'm throwing away nature. No, they're going to decompose. They're going to decompose and go back to the earth. I remember walking around as a little kid in people's backyards, because that's what we did back then, and finding like oyster shells, because I grew up in Massachusetts. And people would put their shells out in their gardens because they had minerals and stuff like that that would help grow the plants. So don't put them in a plastic bag, but throw them in the backyard. Bring them back to the beach. They'll decompose that way, right? So decluttering things is also different than, sometimes decluttering does involve throwing stuff into the trash. I try to make that as minimal as possible, but it is going to happen. But notice that if you've decided something is trash and you don't throw it away, you're pretty much turning your house into a dumpster. So if you don't want it and it's trash, love the person you are right now and get the trash out of your house. Okay? Now, Penny's got her sink clear and laundry away because she's been on with me for 2 hours. Breakfast and coffee, dishwasher and washer are running. I love it. Yeah, and Danny's mess, every day will be different than the next. Do the best you can, everybody, wherever you are, to love who you are today. Love yourself a little bit more, 10% more. Love yourself more from 11 to 12 today. And you know how you do that? A lot of what has helped me is this, my hand, my traffic cop hand, to quiet down the backseat driver. Hush. Stop talking mean to me. I am worthy of love regardless of what size my body is. Quiet down. You may even notice, too, that backseat driver isn't even you. It's you imitating somebody else's voice. You've internalized somebody else fat-shaming you. And holy mother of God, do we live in a fat-shaming society and planet practically. You don't do that when you don't have enough food to eat, right? But you got to make people feel bad, because when they feel bad, they're controllable. So don't do that. Do your best to treat yourself kindly every day, you know? And I love this. Grandma Bird has categorized her clothing. One is for what fits now, and one is for what I want to fit into again. So removing the things that are not working for you temporarily from your circulation may make it easier for you to put away your laundry that does fit you. It's not like you're throwing it away or giving up, but you are categorizing those clothes. And one of the things I'll offer to you, is that I have occasionally like splurged, and it was a splurge for me to bring things to the dry cleaner after I've gone on like vacation and stuff, because I want to treat my clothing well. The reason I bring this up is because the dry cleaning tag has a tag with a date on it that says when was the last time that I wore this. And there were some things that I was like, man, it's been like 3 years. Do I think I'm going to wear this again? Maybe, maybe not. And it was piece by piece. It wasn't all of my clothes at the same time. And I still have some that I hope to fit into, you know? But it's not all or nothing, and it's not all at the same time. It's organic. It depends on how you feel. And if you feel like hanging on to those clothes that you don't fit into, own that and try to do something about fitting into the clothes. But if you've had them for 5 years and you haven't fit into them, you know, I'm giving away, I am mailing out 4 t-shirts today to different people that one of them I know I've had since 1983. 84 maybe, okay? I wore it for a while back then, and I kept it as a sentimental item. No, my nieces and nephews don't want it, but I know somebody who will. I had a t-shirt from 1983. I'm sending it to a stranger because I will not wear it anymore, and I don't need the t-shirt to remind me that I saw Elvis Costello in 1983. I have the memories, and I took a picture of the t-shirt just in case I need that. Okay? So, yay. Carla Jane worked hard for the past 3 days, and now she's going to go have a fun day. Awesome. We have fun and we get it done. All work and no play makes Beth a crabby bitch. So don't do that. Chunk it down. Do some decluttering, have some fun. Do some decluttering, have some fun. Sometimes you're going to do a lot of decluttering, then go have a lot of fun. You know? Yeah, Therapy Gal Sue says everything ends up trash eventually, including our own selves, our own bodies. I try to donate until then, and my solution is mindful buying. Yeah. My mom does that. She comments on some people's and their sizes. Yeah, notice where we got that from. My mother, totally judgy, totally feeling bad about her own body growing up, decided to, instead of stop that, hey, let's just bring it on to the next generation. So we all have body dysmorphia. Awesome. No, not on my watch. Okay? Not on my watch. I am not here for that. I do not ascribe to that. I am breaking that pattern of behavior for my family and for anybody else who comes into contact with me. Okay? That stuff doesn't work. Let's break the cycle of clutter. Let's break the cycle of shame. Let's break those unhelpful cycles you're into. Some cycles are good. Getting in the habit of walking steps. Getting in the habit of, like a cycle of laundry helps you have clean dishes. No, that's totally wrong. A cycle of laundry helps you have clean clothes, right? You can tell this is live. But there are some cycles you get into that instead of giving you something good, get you the spiral down, where you get stuck. Blurg, who the hell wants to be there? This is where you stop it. Right, Star Queen. Every day I write the book, every day. That was the Every Day I Write the Book. That was the Punch the Clock tour. It was. I saw it on the back of my t-shirt. So, be kind to yourself. Be kind to your web-footed friend. Be kind to yourself. Quiet down the backseat driver. Chunk it down and start driving towards that destination. There we go. Mary Louise is saying, I learned that clothes get damaged, and when I lose weight, I don't want to use damaged clothes. Yeah. Get those clothes that you don't want out into circulation where they're going to fit somebody else who is that exact size right now and is going to look awesome in them. I love it. You guys, Carla Jane, who gave me this microphone, by the way. I had a first yesterday, says Carla. I'm amplifying you. I could literally look at a room and say, I am proud of myself. Yeah. And I took the compliment. I am proud of myself. Yay. Let's all be proud of Carla. She has been showing up and showing up and showing up. She has literally and metaphorically fallen down. She has had days and weeks where she has not decluttered, but she has had many more that she has gotten right. She's knocked down. She got back up again. They're never going to knock her down, you know? So yay, Carla. You are leading by example to yourself. Your family is noticing a change because you're breaking your family's cycle of cluttering. And so your son and your family is beginning to trust that when they come over to your house, that you're slowly transforming you into your house, that it won't be like it was when they went and hung out with Graham. So it is a slow process. It doesn't mean that it's not worth starting right now, because also when you start this process, it can be enjoyable. I almost said unjoyable. That'd be an interesting thing to play with. Enjoyable. You can find the joy in it. You can have fun and get it done. I would have it no other way. Okay? Oh, Shanana, nice to see you. So this is what I do. What do we got? We got like 8 minutes left thereabouts, and then I do need to sign off because I've been on social media for 2 hours and I've been drinking tea, hydrating. I love it. Kat Roby got the living room down. Now she's to the mail, right? So if we haven't met before, can't hurt to mention, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I spent years here on TikTok. I took a break. I am back on again. Even during the break, I'm also doing YouTube lives. So I will be showing up for a solid focused hour of TikTok lives this week. If you want to know when, you hop on my free mailing list to get the schedule. Wicked easy. Just go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, scroll down to the bottom, fill in your email address. Boom. You get access to a free downloadable habit tracker. You get access to the schedule for the TikTok lives and the YouTube lives so you know when to tune in. If you felt good, you were encouraged by this. I love it. Feeling good about watering your plants. Awesome. I also do one-on-one coaching. You have access to the coaching calendar or the schedule, the consultation calendar, to have a consultation to possibly connect up with me and you and I become coach and client. We also have decluttering parties. The last two of this month are going to be this Saturday and Sunday. You'll find out information about them and how to get your tickets, and all of this is on the mailing list, and it's free. Okay? So if you like what you heard today in the past many minutes, if this helped you, I show up pretty much every day. It's at a different time because there's different people on different time zones, but usually I'm East Coast time, and I'm an East Coast early bird, as I like to say. That's why I share the schedule so you can plan around when I do these things. Okay? Now, I love this. Therapy Gal Sue says, everything all picked up for the monthly house cleaners coming this morning. Treating myself as a reward. As well you should. You deserve a treat. And how wonderful to have the monthly house cleaners. And notice, anybody can clean your house. Cleaning is different than decluttering. The cleaners can't declutter your house because they don't know where things go. And they don't know if you want them or not. So the decluttering is on you. But you can also have somebody else clean. And the more decluttered you are, the better cleaning they can do. Now, Beauty Unseen says, when we moved, we got rid of so much. And now with TikTok shop business, I have no idea where to put. Yeah. Get curious about, notice how the ease of which you can get something from TikTok shop can create its own problem. We think it's a good idea at the beginning, and then suddenly it's not working out. You've got a system that needs to be changed. That it is. Now, I love that Sun Chaser says the habit tracker is transformative. It is. Check it out. I'm working on mine right here. I get a few days left. And here's the thing that came up on the declutter party yesterday. Who was it? It was Suzanne who was saying she's having fun by, notice how mine's kind of all boring and black. She is using colors. So every day on hers is a rainbow. And that helps her fill in the habits. Now it's a template. It's not filled out because you know what's going to be important to you. I don't boss you around. I just help you do what you want to do. Danny Smith says at the laundromat, the cash wash, and the grocery store next door so I can get it all done at once. Love it. Yay. Good stuff. Kit Kat So Cool. I am for this week here on TikTok. I'm going to see how it goes. Basically, I'm trying to get the word out to people who don't know about me, because I have learned that it's easier for people to discover me as somebody new on TikTok, where YouTube is for people who have to go look for me. It's not as, the algorithm isn't so good. So I will look at basically the amount of people that sign up for my mailing list as an indicator of if I am showing up on TikTok, if that is working. Now, here's an interesting thing. Right now, okay, we've got some people who have signed up. So it looks like today is helping people. So yeah, so tomorrow, this week I have committed, when I write something down and when I share it with somebody, I make sure it happens. So this week you can guarantee, as Paul Prudhomme would say on that, Cajun Spice commercial or whatever, that I will show up for each one of the TikTok lives and YouTube lives. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday we have declutter parties. Now, we'll see how TikTok goes this week. If I get people signing up for the mailing list every day this week, I might be encouraged to show up. But I'm not going to show up where people don't, respond. So that's what it's all about. Yes, while the live is up, you can put a quote on the screen so passersby will know when they might stay. Thank you. Yay! 3 Cats in a Bun says I'm motivating. Katie says I'm a motivator. Thank you. Mary Louise says, can you do a YouTube at night? I do. Actually, it's going to be Wednesday. I've been doing Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope that helps. Okay. Okay. Danny Smith says, I have a checklist at work that works. Why haven't I done it at home? I don't know. Try it at home. See how it works out. All right? This is the thing. We're learning about ourselves. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I do that at work. It works at work. Why wouldn't it work at home? It might work at home. I think it might work at home. I'm going to experiment with it. Experiment, play, discover, learn about yourself, learn what works for you, learn what doesn't work for you. And then use the things that works for you to help you get the stuff done. The way your brain is, the way your circadian rhythms are. Are you an early bird? Are you a night owl? Do you have ADHD? Are you neurotypical? Whatever adjectives you use to describe yourself. Are those adjectives? I guess so. Whatever. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Adjectives, you describe them with adjectives. But I digress. Okay. There we go. I love it. No, LBD Jesus Lover, here's the deal. She says, if I'm already signed up, do I need to sign up again from the past TikToks that you did? No, not at all. The only thing you need to do, once you sign up, here's the deal. If you sign up for the mailing list, you should be getting emails from me. I don't send them out often, but they do, and they come from Destination Decluttered. All you need to do is read the emails and do whatever's in the emails have the links to the things that are going to help you. So, yeah, however, I will say this, if you have signed up for the mailing list in the past and you are not receiving emails, let me know. Beth@destinationdecluttered.com. Shoot me an email and say, I thought I was on the mailing list, but I'm not getting your stuff. I can look on my end to see if maybe you were blocked or unsubscribed or whatever. So I can check on my end. But I send you the email. It's up to you to find it, to open it, and to have it help you. Okay? And that's what it's all about, Charlie Brown. Now, we just hit 11 o'clock a.m. I've been here for 2 hours, and I would be lying if I didn't say I'm going to feel better once I go and pee. So, I offer this to you. Tuesday, March 25th is tomorrow. I have a YouTube live scheduled and a TikTok live scheduled. You want to know where they are? When they are? You're going to have to participate. You're going to have to take some action. Get on the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you have a link to the page where the schedule is. Look at the schedule and show up, okay? You need to participate in this. I will not spoon feed you, Okay? I want you to remind yourself you can take action to get what you want. All right? Now, I hope this helped. You could follow me here on TikTok, but I think it's so much better if you just get on the mailing list, okay? I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you all tomorrow, okay?